Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kripa classes. Our today's topic is writing clear and concise reports, tips and strategies for effective communication. Upon completion of the course, the learners will be able to learn how to write clear and concise reports that convey information accurately and effectively. The learners will also understand the different types of reports and their unique characteristics. The learners will also learn how to tailor their reports to different audiences and purposes. The students will also learn how to use appropriate language and tone in their reports depending upon the purpose and audience of the report. The students will also learn how to use visual aids to enhance the presentation of data. The students will understand that they should avoid using jargon or technical terms that may not be familiar to the reader. Now, the topic before us is understanding the meaning and purpose of report writing. First of all, we will discuss the meaning of report writing. Report writing is an essential skill for students as well as professionals. It is the process of organizing and presenting information in a clear, concise, and structured format. Then, what is the report? A report is a brief account of an event or incident that has already taken place. It is the factual description of an issue or a problem. A report is a written account of something that one has heard, observed, done, or investigated. Reports can vary in length, structure, and content depending on their purpose and audience. Reports may include text, tables, graphs, charts, and other visual aids to present data and findings in a clear and brief manner. Reports are generally used to communicate information to a specific audience such as supervisor, manager, client, or other stakeholders. It means that we may have to give a report to our supervisor or to our manager, or the report may be created for our clients or other stakeholders. Other stakeholders may be our investors or other persons or institutions who might have invested in our organization. Reports are an important tool for sharing information, decision making, problem solving, and communication in various fields and industries. Now we will discuss the types of reports. There are various types of reports. We will discuss a few of them. First is business reports. As the name suggests, these reports pertain to the business. A business report is a formal document that presents information about the performance or the activities of a business or organization. Business report is used to analyze the performance of a company and make recommendations for the improvement in the working of the business. Then the second type of reports are academic reports. These types of reports are often written by students, scholars, or researchers. These reports present the results of the research or the results of the experiments or other academic activities. Next type of reports are technical reports. These reports are used to communicate technical information such as specifications, design details, or project progress. These types of reports are generally written by engineers, scientists, or technical experts. Next type of reports are progress reports. These types of reports are used to track progress on a project or initiative. They typically include information about what has been accomplished, what still needs to be done, and any issues or challenges that have arisen. Next type of reports are investigative reports. These types of reports are often prepared by investigators, journalists, or government officials. These persons spend a lot of time in collecting information and evidence to support their findings. Investigative reports are used to uncover or expose facts, usually about a person, organization, or an event. Examples of investigative reports include exposes on political corruption and human rights abuses. Next report type of reports are annual reports. These types of reports provide an overview of a company's activities and financial performance over the course of a year. These reports generally include company's financial statements, information on management team, information regarding corporate governance, and the future goals and plans of the company. There might be some other information in the annual reports. Many companies are required by the law to produce annual reports to meet the regulatory requirements, such as the Securities and Exchange Commission in USA. Next type of reports are marketing reports. These reports provide a detailed analysis and evaluation of the company's marketing performance and strategies. The marketing reports include data such as what is the sale revenue of the company, what is the customer acquisition cost, what is the conversion rate, and what is the position of website traffic and return on investment. The purpose of marketing reports is to help the decision makers to make informed decisions about future marketing strategies and campaigns of the organization. Next type of reports are feasibility reports. These type of reports evaluate the viability of a project or initiative. In these types of reports, information such as potential costs, potential benefits, and the likely risks are mentioned. These types of reports are created usually before the project is started and help the decision makers to decide whether the project or business is worth pursuing or not. That is, whether they should continue with the project or they should stop the execution of the project or leave the project. These types of reports are usually used in industries such as construction, real estate development, and manufacturing. Next type of reports are incident reports. As the name suggests, these types of reports provide a written record of what happened, when happened, and who was involved. Then what is the incident? Incident is an unexpected and unplanned event such as an accident, an injury, or security breach. These type of accidents or injury or security breach may incur in any organization. These types of reports are commonly used in industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, and construction. The information provided by the incident reports help prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. For example, there may be a boiler explosion in some manufacturing industry. Then the company may decide to investigate the matter, and on the basis of the investigation incident report, the company may decide who was involved, why the incident happened, and on the basis of that incident report, the organization may take the necessary steps to ensure that such type of incidents do not occur in future. Now we will understand the report writing process. It involves various steps. These steps are as under. First is understanding the purpose and scope of report. Second step is conduct research, gather and organize information. Then the next step is creating an outline. Then writing a first draft report. Fifth step in report writing process is proofreading, revising and editing report. And the final step in report writing process is finalize and submit. We will discuss each of these steps one by one. The process of report writing involves several stages that are necessary to ensure that the report is well structured, informative, and easy to understand. Now, the first step is understanding the purpose and scope of report. This is the first crucial step in report writing process. The purpose of a report is the reason why the report is being written. Generally, the purpose of a report is to provide information or to analyze data, to record events and happenings, to describe problems and suggest solutions, to give feedback, suggestions, or recommendations on a specific topic or issue. The scope of a report refers to the specific topic or topics or areas that the report will cover. The scope of the report can be broad or the scope can be narrow. It depends on the topic and the purpose of the report. A report with a broad scope may cover a wide range of topics, while a report with a narrow scope will focus on a specific topic in great detail, such as a marketing plan. In the first step of report writing, you have to ask yourself questions like what is the goal of this report and who is the intended audience for the report. This will help you to tailor your writing to meet the needs and expectations of your readers. Now the second step in report writing process is conduct research, gather and organize information. When you have completed the first step of report writing process, that is when you have identified the purpose and scope of your report, it is time to gather and organize the information. How to gather information? You can gather information from various sources such as books, documentaries, research documents, journal articles, online databases, interviews, as well as any relevant emails and memos, etc. Please note that you have to collect only the relevant information. You have to evaluate the reliability and credibility of each source from where you have obtained the information. It is done to ensure that you are using trustworthy information. As you gather information, keep detailed notes and cite your sources accurately. Then whatever information you have gathered and you have analyzed the same, you have to organize this information in a logical and orderly manner so that the reader can quickly understand the main points. So far, we have discussed first two steps of report writing process. We will now discuss the next four steps of report writing process. Now the third process of report writing process is creating an outline. When your ideas are organized, the next step is to create a preliminary outline for your report. This involves creating a framework or structure for the report. You have to identify the main sections and add subsections. Then you have to organize the sections and subsections of the report in a logical order so that the reader can easily follow the flow of the report. An outline can help you to stay focused and ensure that you include all the necessary information in your report. Now the fourth step is writing the first draft report. Once you have created the outline, it is time to write your first draft report. Then please don't worry about your grammar or formatting at this stage. Your goal at this step is to get your ideas written down on paper. Now, when you are writing your first draft report, it also includes certain steps. Introduction. Start your report with an introduction. This introduction sets the stage for the rest of the report. Introduction should include some background information on the topic, the purpose and scope of the report. In the introduction, you have to briefly describe the methodology used by you to gather data and information for the report. Next is body. The body of the report should include all the information you have gathered and organized. Using your outline as a guide, you should write the main sections of your report. Each section of the report should focus on a specific topic or the point you want to make. In your report, use headings and subheadings to make the report easy to read and follow. Make sure that the information you present is accurate and reliable. Conclusion. Your conclusion should summarize the main findings and provide a clear recommendation or call to action. Overall, writing a first draft report can be a daunting task. Daunting means very difficult task, but it is an important step in creating a well-written, persuasive report that effectively communicates your ideas. Once you have full draft in front of you, you will have a clear idea of where improvement is required. Now, the next step after writing the first draft report is proofreading, revising, and editing your report. What we have to do at this stage? At this step, you have to look for spelling and grammar errors. You have to find out ambiguous phrases and repetition of words. You will also have to find out whether any words are missing or whether any missing spaces are there. You will have also to find out the formatting issues, such as the margin, whether the left and right margin is proper, whether spacing in between the lines is proper, whether there is any poor use of white space. White space means the space which is left between the paragraphs, whether it is excessive, then whether if the fonts are being made bold, whether it is being overused or whether there is overuse of italics. We will also have to find out whether we are making arguments in the report that are unclear or illogical. We will also have to find out the areas where information would be better presented in a different order. Suppose we have presented information at the 7th paragraph, we may find that it will be proper to place the 7th paragraph in the 3rd paragraph. Then we will also have to find out the passages where additional information or explanation is required. It can be difficult to look neutrally at your own writing. Your perspective might be positively or negatively biased, especially if you try to assess your work shortly after finishing it. It is best to leave your work alone for at least a day or two after completing the first draft. Come back after a break to evaluate it with fresh eyes. You will spot things you won't have otherwise pointed out. Then you have to edit and revise your report on the basis of the faults which you have find out in your first draft report. You may have to redraft and revise it several times until you have a final draft you are happy with. Think about what changes you can realistically accomplish in the time you have. If you are having less time, then make sure to prioritize the most important changes which you can make in your draft report. Then the next step is finalize and submit. After you have proofread and edited the report, finalize it and submit your report to your intended audience, which may be your senior or which may be any other audience for which the report was written. Now we will discuss the structure and format of report. The structure and format of a report may vary depending upon the requirements of the specific report and the preferences of the intended audience. However, the structure and format of the report generally includes the following elements. These are the elements of the report. First is title page, second table of contents, executive summary, introduction, then body, sixth conclusion, references and appendices. We will discuss each of these points one by one. Title page. Title page should include the title of the report, the author's name, date of submission, and any other relevant information such as the name of the organization or department. Next is table of contents. Table of contents provides an overview of the report's structure and lists the sections and subsections in the report. Now the third point is executive summary. It provides a brief overview of the entire report, including the main findings, conclusions, and recommendations. It is generally one page long. Now the format of the report. Next point is introduction. Start your report with an introduction that sets the stage for the rest of the report. Introduction should include some background information on the topic, the purpose of the report, and the scope of the report. Briefly, you have to discuss or describe the methodology used by you to gather data and information for the report. Conclude the introduction with a clear and concise thesis statement. What is the meaning of thesis statement? The thesis statement clearly presents the writer's perspective or position and gives the reader an idea of what to expect in the rest of the report. For example, if you are writing a report on the impact of social media on the mental health, your thesis statement might be: the excessive use of social media has been shown to have negative effects on mental health, including increased rates of anxiety and depression. This thesis statement will naturally show to your reader what they can expect from your report. Now, the next point is body. The body of the report should include all the information that you have gathered and organized. Using your outline as a guide, write the main sections of your report. Each section should focus on a specific topic or the point you want to make. You should use headings and subheadings to make the report easy to read and follow. Make sure that the information presented by you is accurate and reliable. Next, conclusion. Your conclusion should summarize the main findings and provide a clear recommendation or call to action. Seventh point, references. The references section lists all sources cited in the report. Next point is appendices. These appendices include any additional material or data that support the findings of the report. The format of the report should be consistent throughout. That is the font style, size of the font, line spacing, margins, and page numbering. All should be consistent throughout the report. The report should be structured logically with clear headings and subheadings that guide the reader through the content. Now, the next topic before us is report writing, tips for writing with impact. In other words, we will discuss the report writing tips. Now, the first tip of report writing is use clear and concise language. We should not use or avoid using jargon or technical terms or long-winded sentences. That is, the complex sentences we should not use or avoid the same. Ensure that your report is to the point. Use simple language that is easy to understand. Next point is be objective. You should write your report on the basis of the facts. You should not be influenced by personal feelings or biases. Avoid using emotional language or personal opinions. Now, the next tip of report writing is be respectful. Use the language that is respectful and professional. Avoid using the language that is offensive or derogatory. Next tip of report writing is be confident. While writing a report, use a tone that is confident and assertive, but do not use the tone which is aggressive. Sorry. Next tip is consistent formatting. Use a consistent formatting style throughout the report. That is, the font size, font style, headings and margins should be consistent throughout. Next tip is use headings and subheadings. Headings and subheadings are a useful tool for organizing and presenting information in a report. Headings and subheadings make it easier for the readers to find and understand the information presented. Next tip of report writing is use bullet points and numbered lists. use of bullet points and numbered lists make the report more readable, and they also highlight the key points. Next tip is provide evidence and examples. As you write each section of the report, make sure to back up your information or evidence ideas with evidence and examples. This can include data, quotes, research studies, or real life examples. Be sure that you cite your sources correctly. Next tip of report writing is use graphics and visuals. Graphics and visuals means such as charts, tables, diagrams. They help to illustrate key points and make the report more engaging for the reader. Now the next tip is effective use of white space. If there is much space, white space left in between the paragraphs, then the report presented by you may look sparse and empty. But if you leave too little space, it can make the report appear crowded. So, we should make effective use of white space. By doing so, it improves the readability and visual appeal of your report. Avoid using large blocks of text. Next is use appropriate tone. The tone of your report should be appropriate for your audience and the purpose of your report. For example, a report that is recommending a course of action may use a more persuasive tone than a report that is simply of informing nature. If you are writing a formal report for a senior executive, your tone may be more formal than if you are writing a report for a team meeting. Then the next tip for report writing is use active voice rather than passive voice. Active voice makes the report more engaging and easier to read. Here is an example of a sentence written in a active voice in a report. In the passive voice, we write the sentence as the mistake was made by the employee. If we write the same fact in active voice, it will be read as the employee made the mistake. Both these things convey the same, but notice how the active voice sentence clearly states who performed the action, that is the employee, and what he did, he made the mistake. So the active voice sentence is more concise and direct. Active voice sentence makes it clear who is responsible for the mistake, making the report more effective in terms of accountability and transparency. Now we will like to conclude this course that report writing is a crucial skill that is necessary for professionals in almost every field. It is essential to consider the purpose of the report and the audience while writing a report. The report should be written in a clear and concise manner. We should use appropriate language and tone, keeping in view the intended audience. It is important to use proper formatting, citations, and referencing to ensure accuracy and credibility. We should use headings, subheadings, bullet points, graphs, etc. to present information effectively. If you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.